How's your face?
My face, it hurts a little bit. Can you see my bruise? Do you see any bruising? I
No.
know most people are just listening, but can you see a
Can't see
bruise?
your bruise, but boy, I
It
sure watched
hurts.
it happen. You walked right into a bar at the gym.
I walked into a dip bar. I was setting up my music on my phone, not paying
Getting ready to
attention,
stretch.
and
Bam!
I walked right into it and it hurt. I was glad you were there, because you helped kind of hide me while I gathered myself because I was very close to, like, bursting into tears. It hurt a lot, um, but I'm okay.
Burst into tears. All is good.
I'm okay.
I'm
Alright.
glad you're okay. I'm just glad that whenever I do something embarrassing, I try to make sure you're not there, and then you would rather have me there for sympathy, so I don't understand that, but I'd
I
rather have
would
nobody around, and then I don't tell you when I do something embarrassing.
It's why I also tell you
Not you.
every
Every
embarrassing
detail.
thing that ever happens to me. Who else am I gonna tell?
Alright, should we do this thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, welcome to the men's room, the hangout where dads, husbands, and everyday guys level up. I'm Chad Henderson, twin dad, husband, lifelong learner. Travel with me as I open up the real conversations that push me to become a better dad, husband, and friend. Ready? Let's dive in.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Men's Room. Keelin, we're doing this a little different. We were gonna try and do the Good Couple as a separate podcast, but dude, nobody's engaging over there. So I'm gonna bring you over here, and we're just gonna have this conversation. So one of the segments of the Men's Room podcast now will be when I sit down and talk with you, my wife. You can call me out on the bullshit, see if I'm being for real in all my other posts, and we can just kind of update people on how we try and get through this crazy relationship that we found ourselves in. What do you
Yeah,
think? Welcome, Keelan.
I love it. Thanks. Thanks for having me. It's
Now,
been
just
a
because
minute.
it
It's
moved
been a
over
minute.
here. Oh yeah, it has. It
Mhm.
has been. We haven't recorded an episode since I believe it was July, and in that last episode, it was called "Achy Breaky Heart." So we can still keep that thing where you name all of the episodes after songs. I think that was fun. Good creative thing.
Oh, thank you.
So I think it was called "Achy Breaky Heart." We were talking about my heart. I was going in for a new pacemaker at that time. That was 5 months ago already. So yeah, so had surgery, got a new pacemaker, discovered a new problem, an evolving. So my heart continues to be an evolving problem at this point, but a lot of positive news now that I've had not only had the surgery, but we know the surgery is working. So the heart function that we were talking about that was a problem before, that is more fixed. I'm still not normal. I'll never be normal, I guess, but never was planning to be. So the heart function problem kind of evolved and changed. The heart stuff is in a good place, and that hasn't been our main focus lately. So that's been great.
Yeah. Do
Kind of
you
a
wanna
quick medical update, I suppose. Like, was there something I missed with it?
I mean, I was really excited to talk about the space junk.
Oh, yeah.
The space junk part of your of your
Yeah.
surgery. Can you talk about the space junk?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think what you mean is when they went in there, so there were two old leads that were connected to my old pacemaker, right? And the plan was to leave those two leads, add a new lead to the other side. But one of the leads that was in there, one of the old leads was broken. So they had to put a new lead in, but the doctor didn't feel comfortable with the OR that they had. So she just left it there, so I just got like an extra wire just like hanging out in the, I don't know,
Yeah.
suppose it's
You
not in
just
my
have, like,
heart,
an
but
extra wire just, like, chilling in your heart. It just seems to me like when we shoot stuff off into space and we're just like, "Eh, that lives there now." Like, that's kinda how I felt they treated this wire, was just
oh, absolutely.
yep.
Absolutely. It feels super weird to me too. Especially since the other thing I learned is when you've had a pacemaker now like almost 20 years, right? They are learning that these leads can have a tendency to have like calcium buildup on them. And
Mm.
so now we're looking and testing different things because those leads are getting old. So I don't know, man. Like, just like it's the evolving nature of it. Um, the evolving nature of like I don't know, when I go now, I've been going to these doctors for like 20 years, right? Like, I remember when yeah, United Heart and Vascular Clinic, like, I remember when that was St. Paul Heart Clinic. And I remember, the doctor that was there 20 years ago and the nursing staff, and I remember how customer service used to be a lot better. And like, you start to learn over time, like, they know more about my condition now. So it's just wild as you get older, the way something you learned about yourself really young, and now they're like, "Oh yeah, we were actually wrong about that. Like, we want you to go run now." And I'm like, "What? I don't think that's what we need to do, but we'll talk about other things." So yeah,
Yeah.
I am technically supposed to be getting back to running. I've been walking on the treadmill a lot. I've been walking on the treadmill a lot at a big incline, so that has felt better. I do not think I'm ready. I don't know, man. I know that I would burn more calories and it would feel good to start jogging even for a few minutes at a time, but I see people running down the street. I'm like, that looks dangerous.
Yeah. I feel like when you've done something twice and it's tried to, well, I mean, you've done it more than twice, but
Yeah,
you're doing an activity and during that activity twice, your body has tried to
agreed,
stop. Like, I can see why that would be hard to, mm,
agreed. How
gotta
are
do
you
that.
feeling with it though? This impacts you just as much as it impacts me. Like,
Yeah.
this is all good news. Like, to the viewer, like, it's only been 2 seconds, but to us, we were waiting on that result for like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it feels good. It feels obviously it feels good, right? I was super excited to hear that infraction rate or that infraction number, not that kind of doctor, I don't know.
Ejection fraction.
Ejection
Ejection
fractures, see, not that kind of
fraction.
doctor. But that your heart function, right? That's the thing. That the heart function was improving. Like you said, it's not normal. You won't ever be normal. But let's keep all of those numbers as high as we can for as long as we can. Um,
Agreed.
so yeah, that
Agreed. I know folks are excited to hear that update. I always am kind of tired of talking about it because it's part of my everyday, but I did want to make sure folks got an update. But we've had a lot of other stuff going on. Our kids are halfway through fourth grade. We got soccer games. We're full on soccer parents now. We got date nights happening where we walk around a dome turf field for 2 hours. That's become our date night. I gotta admit though, I'm kind of loving this phase of life because before we got the kids, and even like early on when the kids were here, like, it was like every weekend we had something, and we still do, but because it's sports stuff, we don't have to make plans. We're not traveling a lot. We're not, like, I actually really enjoy the fact that, like, yeah, even on, stop fucking scheduling games on Saturday night. Stop scheduling games for 6 and 7 p.m. on Saturday nights. I'm sorry that nobody else has a life that they just want. Like, why are more parents not pissed about this? Maybe they are. This is bullshit, Keelan.
I
I
mean, I
mean, our
think,
daughter plays passionately, but she's not like the next Ronaldo. She's not. Why are we playing so?
well, not if she
Anyway,
doesn't play on Friday and
not
Saturday
if she
nights,
doesn't
she
play
won't
Saturday
be.
nights. Exactly.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I will agree. It that the practice schedule, some of the game schedule is a little rough. Um,
yes.
but
But at the same time, I kind of enjoy it, and I don't know if other parents feel this way, but, like, it is nice to have time that's dedicated to, like, if we don't always go together. Sometimes you have some stuff you wanna get done, sometimes I have something I wanna do. We try and be flexible with each other, but when we can go, I actually enjoy the games. It's nice to, like, I'm just hanging out with you. Like, I kinda like hanging out with you. You're alright most of the
mm,
time.
most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
No, no, I agree. It's been fun. I think it's been fun this year. I mean, it's always fun to watch the kids, obviously, but it has been even more fun this year because I feel like they're really starting to know a lot of other kids, right? Like, so they've been on multiple soccer teams now, and like a kid might not be on their team currently, but they'll see them coming in or out of practice. And it's very sweet to me to like see them like interacting with all these other little kids at soccer that they know from school or know from other
100%.
places.
Yeah.
I just
They're
like
little people.
I
They're
know,
little
and
people with all their own little relationships, and it's really interesting with the twins, and they're the same age. I think even I know some families have it like well, like their sister and brother are only a year apart, so they know a lot of the same people or like they connect. So I'm sure that happens, but for us with them being in the same grade, like, I mean, Gregory's going to have to deal with the fact that his sister's boy crazy and all his friends are her targets for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no question about it. And guess what? Those boys are starting to talk to Ella more and more too. So anyway, just kind of a fun thing. The other dynamic, I know I mentioned this to you, but worth mentioning here is in the dome. There's basically 9 fields. I mean, tiny fields. They've got big kids playing on the same size field. 16-year-old boys playing on the same size field as like 6-year-old boys. But what's interesting is there seems to be no rhyme or reason as to who's practicing when. So you'll have like a fourth grade girls team and then a high school boys team and then 6-year-olds and then, right. So you got all these age groups. And as you know, I've been walking this circle now for a few years. It's weird as you're becoming a parent of the older kids, how you look on the experience of the younger parents, right? Like I'll see them going through something or they're frustrated, or I saw a dad yelling at his daughter, not yelling, but like trying to get his daughter to focus because she and her friend were doing handstands, remember? And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, like as you're a little older and your kids are practicing, and they're still little kids. There's just a different appreciation, I think, for like, nah, just let him do the damn handstand, right? Like, and I was the dad that would have been pissed at that 4 years ago. Like, we're paying $75 for you to be here. Like, stop doing handstands and learn the game. And then you just kind of realize, like, they're just having fun, whatever.
Yeah.
You see that at all?
I do. I do, and it's very cute. I mean, I definitely take a very, like, whatever stance to their sports. That maybe sounds bad, but I'm just like, I don't know. They're there to, like, yeah, learn how to play the game, but, like, have fun and, like, hey, this doesn't all have to be, like, super serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
but
grew
do you
I
think that
grew up
relates at all? Okay, that's
I
what I was going to ask.
I grew up doing some, like, very super serious sports, right? And, like, that was great, and I honestly wouldn't change that for anything, and, like, parts of it were really unnecessary. You know what I mean? And so, like, as a parent
Folks
now
don't know. Keelin, Keelin was an elite race walker. And I'm gonna mention it because I think that's part of the story, because I think race walking, you were elite at it, and all anybody ever wants to do is make fun of it, right? Like the
yeah,
sport of race walking in general. And it doesn't help that in the Olympics, like if someone's gonna do some dumb shit, it's a race walker that shits their pants and then has to walk for 12 miles
listen,
with
that's
crap
commitment.
running
That's
down their
commitment,
legs.
okay? That's
Sure, but it
commitment.
doesn't help people take your sport more seriously, right? But you were like, so there, it's not just speed walking. We don't have to get into the whole thing. There's rules. If you want to look it up your damn self. It's called race walking. Basically, your knee has to be straight as it passes under, and one foot has to be touching the ground at all time. I don't know. It's fucking confusing.
That
But
was pretty
listen,
close, babe. That was
pretty
that
close.
good job.
Hey, I pay
Yeah,
attention. This is your sport. But I don't think people can understand how fast you were moving back then, right? Like you were walking like 7-minute miles.
yeah.
Like I've never even run a 7-minute mile. I'm sure this comes as no surprise to anyone. I don't believe I've ever ran under 10-minute mile. Nor can most people. So fuck off. But you were walking like fast, like lightning fast.
I was walking
Right.
fast.
And you were ranked like fifth in the world. And so there was, with that came a lot of competition. You got pushed a lot. Your dad was your coach. There was a lot. So as an adult, do you think that that has to do with why you're like, whatever?
Oh, I mean, I think there are parts of it, absolutely. I think there are parts of it where I'm just like, it just doesn't have to be so serious. Yeah, so I think that's at play, but I think too, like, it's more so I don't know, like, I always had fun, right? And, like, I think that's important to say, like, I always had fun in my sport, but, like, I also never really thought about doing anything else. And, like, in the moment, like, that was all I wanted to do, and I was good at that, and I got lots of praise and achievement and whatever for, like,
You
doing
were,
that
yeah,
thing.
you were like the lead of the paper for 5K race season, man.
Yeah,
Keelin was out
every
there beating the women's division. Not
right,
race
right.
walking, right? You didn't race walk through the running event. You
No,
ran through
no,
those.
no, no,
Okay.
no. So long distance running and race walking. Yeah. Yeah, so the weekend warrior stuff, that was more like, let me go dominate every 5K in the tri-state area. Um, but yeah, but I never thought even about like doing something else. And would I have? Probably even not, right? But like
You
didn't even
you did
exist.
all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
you
But I
did
mean sports wise, right?
sure.
Like sports wise.
Well, you're not good with balls. We know that.
It's more
You
the hand-eye coordination, thank you. I never
which
had to.
involves any sport with a ball. So
All I had to
don't
do was run and turn left,
yeah.
like
Your sport is our sport's punishment.
right,
I think
exactly.
that's how we always say it. Wrigley's like
But
I don't know if you can hear Wrigley dying back here.
I can't hear it. But
Whoa.
I really enjoy for Gregory and Ella that they have been super excited about wanting to try lots of things, right? And it seems like right now, soccer is kind of where they've landed. Like they both kind of chose that as their sport. They wanted to do the competitive versus the rec. And so like, yeah, if that's where they want to stay and that's what they want to do, like that's awesome. But if they also decide that next season they want to become wrestlers or whatever, like that's cool too, you know?
Well,
Um,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know.
Boy,
It just
that'd be
seems like
shocking if
it
either of
just
the kids became a wrestler. I think it's most likely to be Ella that becomes the little wrestler. There's no way Gregory's gonna do that.
yeah. Yeah,
Just no way.
it's just interesting to see like kids sports from the other side, right? Just like not being a kid. And yeah, like what are the lessons that I want them to walk away, like learning and that kind of thing. And I don't know. It's complicated, but
It is. It is complicated. I think what's hard for me though is I like there are elements where like it's okay to push a kid to be better athletically. Like there are elements where like some kids need to be pushed. Like you won't have great Olympic athletes or great athletes of any kind if you don't start getting pushed or whatever. But boy, when I see it, it looks stupid to me as an adult. I and I my my dad was obviously a coach. I don't have like it's not like I feel like my dad was too hard on me or anything. Like I think his entire message was attitude is everything. I think he focused on the right things. Plus, it helped that I sucked. Right? I was never gonna find a sport as a kid that I was good at. So like hard to
oh,
coach that kid. But like but what I really bought into was like everyone can be needed on a team. Like everyone can be
mm,
emotionally supportive to their team. So that's why I push with the kids to really focus on like being coachable. Like, cause that's a skill. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a good player or a bad player. Like, just be coachable and being a good teammate. Cause, and like, I've talked to you about this. Like, that's how I hire as well. Like, if you have the minimum skills, like, are you coachable and are you a good teammate? The rest of it, I can kind of teach you. Um, anyway, I just been thinking a lot about the way in which everyone parents their kids, not trying to judge anyone because I think we're all trying to get through this together. Um, it's just a hard balance sometimes for me to remember that like it's okay to push the kids athletically a little bit too because I'm so much just like, oh well, at least you had fun. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Like there and you should always have fun, but like it is okay to like poke the competitiveness,
mhm.
right? Like you had your competitiveness poked. I don't poke it because you're dangerous as an adult. I don't
Don't
like to
poke
poke
it,
your.
it's dangerous.
I don't.
Well, no, I would wait. Please hold. I would encourage anyone to please poke my competitiveness because it's very enjoyable for me.
Well,
But
you
also
and my mother aren't even allowed to play Phase 10 due to an incident that happened back in, I don't know, 2010 maybe, because you hate how good my mom is at Phase 10. She
I
is
think
really
she
good
can,
at
like,
it.
count cards, like, it
She
doesn't
like
I don't even understand how
we should
she's
take
so
her
good
to
at it.
Vegas. Do you think there's a Phase 10 table we could get my mom at? I'll fund. Maybe that's her Rain Man secret. What movie is it where it's gotta be I'm imagining Zach Galifianakis coming down an escalator with Bradley Cooper.
I mean,
That could
I'm
be
sure
me and
it's like
my
a
mom. This
scene
could
at
be
the
me and my
hang,
mom.
sure.
We'll get my mom a nice anyway. Mom's gonna watch this
Mhm.
episode and be like, I'm what now? Anyway, but yeah, we can't poke your competitiveness. Like you and my mom love each other, but Phase 10 almost ended you.
It's true. It's true. I think we could try again, maybe. I think
I'm not. I'll no.
time heals
Yeah, I'll play
all.
again. I'll tell you what. You know what? I can play again. I
Maybe
cheat,
we'll start
though.
with you and I. We'll start with you and I, and we'll see how that goes, and then
I don't wanna play with you. That's not what this was about. Alright, what else is on the agenda? We gotta go get the kids in, like, 10 minutes.
I know. Um, well, I mean, we wanted to just kind of talk about like connection, right? So we're reconnecting to the podcast after however long it's been, and kind of catching folks up. But we too, right? Like have had it's been kind of a I don't know. I
It's been
don't
hard.
know what word to use. Like a hard, a heavy, like fall. Like it's been our relationship. It's been hard. Like it's been a lot of work lately. Um, and
100%.
so I know we wanted to spend kind of some time like unpacking that. Like I think it's one of those situations where um again, we have had a lot of medical stuff besides me running into the bar at Planet Fitness, which by the way, I'm really looking and I can see it. I can feel it too. If you're watching this, it hurts.
That's the only way. It's only on YouTube.
Uh,
I can only watch it.
um, but like besides me running into the dip bar, like we've got kiddos that have like some new medical stuff that like they're working on, and you've had some like medication changes and things like that with your heart stuff, and um there's been a lot of medical stuff, a lot of school stuff. Your job has kind of completely changed, like lots of job stress. And we just haven't been as like locked in.
Connected.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
locked in. Um, and that's been really hard. Like it's been really sucky, like to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
It has. And I appreciate the acknowledgement because the one thing I never want to do with like the coaching business is I never want to make it look like I am perfect and I am showing everyone how to be a perfect dad and husband. Like I have negative tendencies, right? Like I get emotionally big, I get loud, like I overreact, I have issues. You have your own stuff. You react in certain ways. Uh, I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna go there, but mostly me, I would say for sure. But I think what's interesting is, God, we've been married a while. I mean, we've been married. It'll be 16 years in June. On December 20th, we're gonna celebrate 21 years of dating anniversary, right?
mhm,
And we can talk about that, how we're gonna celebrate in a minute. But I remember people will say like, "Oh, there's a 7-year slump," or there's, like, "Oh, it gets hard at this point," or whatever. And it's definitely it's I wouldn't say there's any specific time, but it's a roller coaster, right?
mhm,
Like there are times where it feels like being friends with you and being in a relationship with you and raising kids with you, it feels easy. And then there are times where I'm like, "How the fuck do we ever do this? This is miserable." Like, like, honestly, it feels like sometimes, like, nothing I say, you receive right, nothing you say is being received right by me, and you get stuck in this cyclical back and forth, and yeah, I'm not we've been stuck.
mhm.
That's real. And we've been trying really hard. What did we do? I think let's talk about that. Like we had to make some intentional efforts about trying. First of all, I was getting like to the point where I was getting so frustrated that I was rejecting physical touch. And touch is typically my love language. And you know that. So
Yeah.
if I'm rejecting touch and touch is my love language, like I'm not receiving.
Mhm,
I'm turned off. Right?
mhm.
Like it took me a while to realize that for sure. What else did you notice though? That's a lot of
Yeah.
Chad talking.
Well, I mean, I know we it took I mean, I think it took even a couple of weeks for us to even really, like, not notice that, like, things weren't, like, as on track as they usually are, but, like, it took a while for us to even, like, "Oh, wait, what the is happening?" And then, I think we have had several, probably 2 at least 2, maybe 3, like, pretty long conversations, right? That, like, weren't super fun, like, weren't super enjoyable, like, wasn't necessarily the way I wanted to spend 90 to 120 minutes at a time, like, talking through kind of, like, what the fuck is going on and, like, how are we feeling about it? Um, but I think that those conversations, like, sitting down and, like, really hashing stuff out, um, necessary, right? I mean, like, from there, then we can remind each other, like, oh, hey, we're not enemies. And like, we do have kind of these common goals and like common investment in this relationship. Um, so I think for me, like, those super long chats were super helpful. And then really just like being more intentional, really about everything, right? But like being really intentional about like the language that we're using with one another, being intentional with making time for one another and not like, oh, we're hanging out, but we're on our phones or we're hanging out or we're doing whatever. But like we are actually like connecting and having fun and like laughing, right? Like finding those very small opportunities to do that, to like slowly, almost like slowly reintroduce like that connection, that like, hey, we are friends. Like we are in this together. um I don't know, like, I know I've had to do a lot of checking around like language and like what you are saying and making sure that like I'm being open, right, to hearing what you're actually saying and not what I think you're saying or what I want to assume you're saying.
Yeah, because if I ask you, did Ella get her medicine yet? You might hear, did you give Ella her medicine? Why not?
That's
But what
exactly
I'm
what I hear.
actually asking is like, hey, if it hasn't, like, this is a way that I can help. I don't want to give her a double dose of medicine. So I have to ask a question like, hey, did you do that yet? I can't exactly trust Ella sometimes to tell me whether she took her medicine, right? So,
Don't trust any 10-year-old with whether or not they took their medication ever.
so, so I'm just saying, like, I think it makes sense. Not to get away from what you said, but to get this point in kind of a hurry. I think a big thing that we get right is that we both do individual work on ourselves, right? Like I see a therapist every other week and have for years and years. You
Mhm.
see a therapist less frequently because I obviously am a better patient than you are. And I just want that to be known on record.
Yes,
But
yes.
you see a therapist as well.
Mhm.
You're not like I saw you reading some weird book about like the vagus nerve
Healing
and
the
the
Vagus
response.
Nerve. It's a very good book. We
Okay,
should have a whole
that's fine.
episode about it. Healing
Well,
the Vagus Nerve.
if
Yes.
anyone wants to sponsor, if the author would like to reach out to us and sponsor the episode, I'd love to talk about it. But I know that you're doing work. I know that you're trying. You're trying to figure out why you are the way you are, why you react the way you do. Right. Like, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to do that too. And because when I see that, I'm not always perfect at it. Right. Like, we had, you just said 3 arguments and whatever. You said it nicer than I did. But the truth is, it's not perfect.
Mhm.
It's not easy. And I
Yeah.
like I said, the reason I'm doing this, the reason I'm putting this stuff out there is to help people just and normalize that. So we agreed that we wanted to come on and just have a conversation. Um, I hear a lot. I put out a new course. I'm going to try and do courses for men. I'm doing something called the Husband Reset. We're going to try and have a 5-week course where men can really start working first on themselves, and then kind of like build themselves and work. And in doing so, you work on your marriage in doing so, right? So, and somebody had said to me, they're like, "Oh, like my husband would be great for that, but there's nothing wrong with our marriage or anything, right?" And I get it. I laugh because I get it. They're like, if I'm going to take a course on marriage, like things must be brutal, but like I don't know if this is the same or maybe it's just a weak connection, but like like imagine if you only got an oil change for your engine, like once the engine's broken. And I sit and think like as we talk, I would call our marriage strong, right? Like
Mhm.
I can only imagine if this is the tension and pain that can exist in a healthy marriage.
Mm.
If you've got somebody who like maybe they do struggle with communication, maybe they're not working on themselves, maybe they're not regularly medicated the way that they should be, or maybe their medicine is sporadic. I'm saying like I can relate to 100 different options of like what's causing the breakdown. But if any of those things are coming up, and this is how much pain exists in a healthy relationship, like I worry about people. And
Well, and I think too, and again, I know we wanna, like, wrap up, I know we have children to literally go pick up, but, like, I think it's important too to be able to even just say, like, when you started to say, if there can be this much pain, like, in a healthy relationship, I instantly was like, "Ugh," like 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 I'll be excited to rewatch this to see if you can see it on my face. You probably can. But like it makes me uncomfortable, right? Like don't say that there's pain. Like I love you. Like we are wonderful together. Like don't tell people there's pain. But like there is. And that's normal. Like
We
that's
hurt each other's
okay.
feelings. I
Right.
say
Like
meaner things to you than I would say to anybody because I know you're my safety net. Like, we know all the psychological reasons behind why I would act out and feel most comfortable doing that with you. And I'm a person who already reacts big.
right.
So I know I cause pain.
Right.
So it is funny though, and I appreciate it, that your instant reaction is to jump up and want to protect me the same way that
Mm,
that person said to me, like, but there's no problems in our relationship. And that's what I think is interesting. Like, I don't care who's listening to this. Like, if you are in a relationship, there are going to be moments. I shouldn't need to tell you this. If you're in a relationship and you don't know that there's going to be problems, like, you're in a great relationship, but also I would say you might not be, because
right.
that could mean that you're avoiding stuff, that you're not communicating things, that you're not taking care of yourself, that you're not causing turmoil, that you're not walking on eggshells. Like, all of those things need to happen in order for two people to grow
Mhm.
across 21 years in December, right? To grow together. I'm not the same person, hopefully, that I was when you met me in middle school. Hopefully, I'm a little different than the little
Well, you're
trumpet player.
taller. You're
I'm a
taller
little
now.
taller, certainly. Definitely more dashing and handsome. I have a little bit more money than I did back then. But I think that I was talking to another friend, and I know I shared this with you, but he was saying, like, he and his wife have been together for nearly as long, and he was just commenting that, like, dude, I live the dream. Like, she
Mhm.
accepts the changes that I'm making. She supports me in the crazy things, the hobbies that I pick, and he picks some crazy hobbies. She, like, lets me be who I want to be. I do the same for her. Like, we're nowhere near the same as we were 21 years ago, but because we have allowed each other and been confident enough in ourselves to let the other person be them, we're able to grow together. And I just love that. I thought it was a beautiful way that he mentioned it to me. I felt I can relate, but at the same time, don't want to convey that in a way that doesn't acknowledge that relationships are hard. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have the best relationship in the world. My takeaway from today's episode would be just make sure that you understand, like, everyone's got their stuff at home. It's not bad to talk about it with other folks. I know that the goal is to protect, but I kind of wanted to leave folks with
No,
that.
but that's what I was saying, right? Like it's that of course it's that protection piece. Like that's my default, right? We can talk about that. We can talk all about that someday. But more so that normalizing piece, right? That like even if that is your instinct to go like, "Oh my gosh, please don't say that. Please don't think that." Like no, that is true and that is okay. Like it is all a part of the process and it's being able to talk about it. It's being able to be dedicated with one another to work through it like that, I think is the key. But before we wrap up and trudge in the snow, um, can I share how we're celebrating said dating
21
anniversary?
years. We'll be
21 years.
celebrating how we tend to celebrate our dating anniversary, which we still celebrate on December 20th, is the day we started dating in 2004. And so this year we're
Right.
celebrating it the same way we did last year, but not
That's right.
exactly.
That's right. So we are going to Vegas for a couple of nights. Super fun and exciting. But we are traveling with our friend Miss Anita.
Who's
So
83. She'll
she is
turn 84 in
83.
July.
Yes, she is in her 80s. Miss Anita is bringing a friend who we have not yet met, but she is also in her 80s. And I'm pretty excited. I think that this lovely intergenerational friendship, we have known Miss Anita for 13 years now. Um,
She was our
and
neighbor at our last house.
yeah,
And I kind of have just, like, I don't know. I took care of Miss Anita for the whole time we were over there. I continue to go back. We continue to have her over. We go to dinners and stuff. So yeah, it's been really beautiful. And she lost a travel friend last year to, passing away. And she was like, Chad, I just don't have anyone to go with. And I
she
was like,
needs
well,
travel buddies.
do you want to go to Vegas with us? She was like, oh my God, yes. So she was like, we have to stay. She told me where to stay. She told me what slot machines she wants to play. She told me that they don't like Asian food. That's fine. We'll figure out something else. But yeah. So
I'm gonna tell on my own, okay? Everyone
you're
hear
gonna
that?
tell. Yeah.
Am not leaving Vegas this trip without going to Tao, whether or not anyone comes with me.
That's fine, because usually when we go to Tao, you wear a very hot, sexy red dress, and I'm hoping that that's the dress that shows up at Tao. But okay, with that, thank you for coming back and recording. You're a hard person to nail down on the
I
calendar,
know.
Keelan.
I know.
I know
I'm
usually we
sorry.
meet in the kitchen at the end of these episodes, but we really need to go pick up our kids. So,
Okay, maybe a snack to go. All right.
all right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Please like and share and subscribe and all of those things. We're trying to get this out there. We've got good content and a good message to share. So please help us get that out there. And thank you for joining. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us in the men's room. We hope that our conversations leave you feeling empowered, less alone, and ready to show up as a better husband, father, and friend. The men's room is proudly brought to you by Chad Henderson Coaching, your home for honest support, real life coaching, and a community that gets it. If you're looking for more ways to grow, or if you're curious about how personal coaching can help you step up in life, head over to CoachChadHenderson.com. Until next time, take care of yourself and those around you, and remember, the door is always open here in the men's room.